Okay, today I'm going to show you how to set up your web server on your laptop or desktop and install a fresh installation of WordPress and install one of my templates that I've created. So the first thing to do is go to wpinstall and download the program. So from the website, click on the downloads and pick up the when it says USB Web Server v85. That's the version number. That's the latest one. So download it. It's going to be a zip file and put it on your desktop. Then you're going to head on to wordpress.org. Okay, and at the home screen you're going to download the latest version of WordPress. You're going to download it and put that on your desktop for easy access. So when you're done, you should be able to have two zip files that you downloaded. One is the actual server and one is WordPress. Now the server itself, it's a portable server. That means nothing is going to get installed on your computer. Nothing is going to change in Windows. In fact, you can run this server out of a flash drive if you wanted to. So that's a good thing. Now the server comes with a database, MySQL database, which we are going to need to run many applications, including WordPress. And everything is pre-configured, ready to go. So open up the zip file and get the folder out of it so we can use it. And in a few seconds, we're going to be ready to go. Okay, good, finally. Now we're going to do the same thing with WordPress. I'm just going to get the folder out of the zip file, or in this case telling me I already have a folder called WordPress, which I do. So what I'm going to do, any websites that you create, it's going to, let me get this out. Okay, and let me rename this. Let's call this server. Okay. There you go. Now, these are the files and folders that you have from your server file. Any websites that you create, you're going to be placing them in the folder called root. And right now there's almost nothing. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the WordPress installation in there. So from the zip file, simply drag the WordPress installation file in there. Okay, good. At this point, if you wanted to rename this installation, you can go ahead and do so. So let's call it website. You can give it any name you want. Just make sure you don't have any spaces in it. Okay, so now we have our WordPress installation, the files, and we renamed it website. All we have to do now is set up the database for it and run the installation script. So in order for us to do that, we need to start up the server. So double click on the server folder and there's one exe file, USB web server exe. Double click on that. Now the first one you're going to run it, at least Windows 7, it's going to give you security warnings. Okay, so you have to say run. And if you get firewall security, make sure you say allow access, and you have to do this twice. And from now on, If I close it, every time I run it, I'm going to click don't ask me again. So it's going to run without asking me further questions every single time. You have to wait until you get the green check marks over here. So let me close it and start it up again. And now AVG is going to find a thread because it's a server. This is a false finding, so say allow. This is not a virus, so don't worry about it. So for the last time, let me close it again and let me open it, and we're going to be ready to go. So if an antivirus gives you a problem, allow it. Don't worry about it. If a firewall is blocking it, unblock it, allow it to use the internet, and we're ready to go. Okay, so at this point we have basically two buttons that you're going to be using all the time. One is the local host. This is the actual the server. We're accessing it through the browser. And the second one is the administration part for the database, the PHP MyAdmin. I'm going to click on that, and your default browser is going to start up, and mine is Google Chrome, and that's my preferred browser. And hopefully in a few seconds it's going to kick in. Let's try again. There you go. All right, the only thing that you have to remember right now, because we're going to use it during the WordPress installation, is that the username of the database is root and the password is USBW. That's the way it's set up. So over here you're going to write root and USBW. Say go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do now is create a database that we're going to use for the website. So if you click on the localhost or database, actually database, you're going to see databases, and there are none right now. So we are going to create a new database. In order for us to be in the future, when you have many installations with many databases, it's better to have the same name as your website so you can identify what database belongs to what website. So the website name was website. Let's call it the same. No spaces again. So we're going to create a new database called website and click on create. And as you can see, we have the database with no tables. So we're ready to go. So at this point, we can close. And I'm going to give you a short summary. What we did was we started the server and we created a new database called website, and we copied the WordPress installation into the root folder and renamed it to website. That's all. So now all we have to do is run that website called website and then go through the installation process, and we are done. It's going to take a few seconds. So after the local host, to go to the website again, click on the local host. We're going to put a / and we're going to go to the folder where we want it to go. So it's website, and automatically it's going to go to the setup screen, and we have to create a configuration file, which takes about 30 seconds. So let's go. So the database name, as we created it, it's called website. In the future, you can name it anything you want. The username, that's the database username, is root. It's always going to be root in this case. And the password is USBW. And database localhost, leave it as localhost. And the table prefix, leave it as WP and _. So the only things you have to do is put the database name that we created. Remember the name of the database we created. The username is always going to be root. Password is always going to be USW for the server. Leave the database host as localhost, and leave the prefix as WP underscore. You can change your prefix to anything else you want, but anything else has to be the way it's shown here. So we're going to create submit. It's going to create our configuration file, and we're ready to go. All we have to do is run the install, and a few more seconds and we're done. So we're going to put here Scott's website. We're going to put username as Scott, and we're going to put password 1234. Let's put another 1234. In my email, nick6352683@yahoo.com. Allow search engines to index this page. Right now it doesn't make a difference one way or the other because we are not on the internet. We are doing things on a local server. So install WordPress, and a few seconds later we are ready to go. Success. So you can say login, and we're ready to go. Scott with the password 1234. We can say login, and we are actually in the backside of the website where we're gonna administer things. If you want to see the website, on top when it says Scott's website, either click on that or visit the website. And this is how a fresh installation of WordPress looks like. We can go back to the dashboard, and you can now create posts for your blog. A blog is an online diary. You can create your pages. You can install plugins. You can install templates, that we're going to do right now, and we can customize many of the things how the website is going to function. So before doing that, I'm going to go and install one of my templates. So I'm going to go appearance themes just to show you how things are, how simple things are. I'm going to say upload, choose file, and from the desktop I'm going to choose my template that's called 5WP. So I'm going to say install now, and a few seconds later we're going to say activate, and we're ready to go. So now the website looks like this. Okay, now what's so special about this website is that this particular template, it is responsive. That means it's going to respond depending from the screen size. So in a big screen, it's going to look like this. Someone looks the website with a tablet or a cell phone, the screen is going to adjust itself, so you don't have to scroll left and right. So in a cell phone, it's going to look like this probably. See how the menus change and everything else. And as you increase the size of this browser, the website adjusts itself accordingly. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you for today is how to configure the settings. So if you go to settings, we're going to go to general. The site title that we put in there, it shows up in the website. But if you want to change that, all you have to do is go to the settings and change that. Okay, you can't touch anything here, can't touch anything here. If you want other people to register for your site, you can say so, and what type of subscription they're gonna have, we'll talk about those in the future. Next thing is to choose your time zone. In my case, obviously it's Los Angeles. In your case, you're gonna find your New York or whatever time zone you are. New York. You're gonna do that. How you want the date to be shown? September 25, 2012. That's good. The time format. Week starts on Monday or Sunday, whenever you want. I prefer Monday. I'm gonna say save changes. Okay. Same with your how you want your writing settings to be, your reading settings, your discussions about the media, privacy, permalinks, and so on and so forth. We'll go through those settings sometime in the future once you start learning how to do an installation of WordPress and start creating pages. For example, if I want to create a page, and right now all we have is one page, a sample page, let's create a second page. So I'm going to go to pages. I'm I'm going to say add new. And I'm going to say second page. I'm going to say this is my second page. And you can put pictures to the media. You can make text in bold. You can center it. You can pretty much do whatever you can do with the word processor here. When you're done, make sure you say publish, and you're done. So if we look at the website, we have a menu that says second page. When you click on it, there's our second page. Now by default, visitors are going to be able to leave comments. If you want to turn that off, let me edit the page again. I can go to screen options, and I'm going to make sure that the fields about discussion and comments, let me turn everything on, in fact. So I'll turn on every single field in there. If I go at the bottom, we have allow comments and allow trackbacks and pingbacks. If I turn those off and say update and visit and go second page, the commenting part is out. And one last thing, if I want to get out the right sidebar, and what is the right sidebar? The right sidebar, those are my widgets area. So to add things to the widgets, I'm going to go to widgets, its appearance widgets, and we have search box, recent post, and so on and so forth. So if you want to make changes to it, it's simply click and drag. So I'm going to take it out. Archives out, recent comments out. We'll just have the blog categories in there, the search box. Let's put a login form. Okay, so now we're going to have a login form on top, and that's all it takes. You can put things in the header area. You can put things in the footer area. This is the primary widget area, which is on the right side. So if I say visit site, there's our login area with the search box and categories only. So nice and simple. If I want to turn this entire thing off and have more space for my page, we can do it very easily per page basis. So let's say I don't want a sidebar on this side of the website. For this particular page, I'm going to edit the page, and at the bottom right it says show left sidebar on page. I'm going to uncheck that. Say update, and that's all it takes. Okay, no, that's the home page. That was for the second page. So there's a second page. The sidebar is gone, so we can do this on per page basis. In fact, I can turn off the entire header in the same manner if I wanted to. So I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to say don't show the header, update, view page, and the header is gone just for this page. Okay, so there's you have a lot of configurations, a lot of ways of doing things. So let's put the header back on. We're on the second page. I'm gonna say show header on page, and I can turn off the title. Let me show you what the title is. The title is the second page. So in this case, we have a title, hello world. For the sample page, we have a title here. It's a sample page. By the second page, there is no title because I just turned it off. And those are some of the small things that you can work on to get you started. I'm sure you're going to have tons of questions. Just email me, and we'll go from there. One last thing. I keep saying one last thing. To change the information on the footer, you do that through themes, theme options. So if you go to themes, templates are called themes in WordPress. So you go appearance, theme options, and this is a place that you have to do it. So in order for us to do it, we'll have to say override the default theme footer contents. Okay, so we can say here Scott's website, all rights reserved, 2012, something like that, and then say save changes. and there it is. Okay. There's a lot of things to talk about, but I don't want to give you too much information. I don't want to overload you. So one thing at a time. Try to install the server on your laptop. Try to see if you can install a fresh copy of WordPress, and then try to install my template that I'm going to send you, because some of the things are only found in my template. That those things over here, you're not going to find them in other templates. For example, if we go to the themes, and we're going to change back to the default template, activate the default template, and we go back to pages to edit the page. You're going to see that those things to turn off the right sidebar or the header, or all those things are not present. These are only going to be present in my templates that I create, because I put those features in there. Those are template features. So go ahead and experiment with things. The more time you spend, the better you're going to become. It's very logical. It's pretty easy. You're going to find tons of information and tutorial videos to see on YouTube as well. So utilize YouTube as well, and Google. And you do this right, within 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, you're going to be able to build quality websites. And before going, let me activate my template for the last time. So go to themes. You're going to see a list of all templates that are available. There are only 3 right now, 2 that came with the fresh WordPress installation, and my template called 5WP. I'm going to activate that, and that's it. We're ready to go. I'll talk to you soon.